Hi everyone, Donna Log Cabin Stitcher here, and I want to show you some blankets that I've made recently. This stitch is great to use for yarn that is hard to see the stitches. So like this Burnett baby bundle, there's several different kinds of yarns in here, and some of these, like I said, it's really hard to see your stitch. So this stitch I'm going to show you works well for those kind of yarns. Here's the Burnett Mix Baby, and same thing, there's different kinds of yarns in here. So, and here's a little sample of the stitch we'll be doing. Now this one is just a number 5 bulky white yarn. So it is a Patton's Beehive Baby Chunky, which you can still do the same stitch with that. Turns out really pretty. This is like a boucle, I think it's called, yarn. It's kind of wavy. Anyway, those stitches, you know, they're kind of hard to see. And another one is homespun yarn. When you stitch it up, the stitches are kind of hard to see. And then this one is the Burnett Baby Bundle again. I just had one skein of it, so I just made a small square, and I'm going to make this into a pillow. And then I just found some matching yarns to go with it. These are number 6 bulky. So I will eventually stitch that up and make it into a pillow. But in this one, I'm working on a border up here, so you could add a border to your blanket. See if I can zoom in a little bit. So I'm working on a border. But this blanket right here is the one I want to show you how I do. And I use, it measures about 31 inches square, and I use 2 skeins of this Burnett Baby Bundle, which is a number 6 bulky weight, and there are about 207 yards per skein. So you need about 400 yards to make this little blanket. And then I used a size in crochet hook. So it is really super soft. And you could, I don't know, make this maybe even for your little dog or cat. But I will show you how to do this. Okay, so we're going to use 2 skeins of the Burnett Baby Bundle, and it is number 6, super bulky. Color I am using today is Pink Nest, and there are 207 yards on each skein, so you need about 400 yards. And then I am using an in crochet hook. And what you want to do when you make your chain, you want to start with the yarn that you're going to be able to see the chain stitch. So either like the brown here or the pink. You definitely don't want to start with one of these yarns, because you won't be able to see your stitches very well. So we are going to make a slip knot. And then you want to chain 58 and do it loosely. So do real loose stitches. and you want to do 58. Okay, so I've done, excuse me, 58 chains. So in the fourth chain from the hook, here's 1, 2, 3, there's the fourth one. I'm going to do 2 double crochets. Okay, and then we're going to skip a chain, and then in the next chain we're going to do 2 double crochets. And we're just going to do that all the way across. So then you're going to skip a chain, and then the next chain right here, we're going to do 2 double crochets. Okay, looks like that. So just do that all the way across. Skip a chain, then do 2 double crochets in the next chain. And skip a chain and do 2 double crochets in the next chain. And just do that all the way across. Okay, I'm to the end of my row and I have 2 chains left. There's 1, 2. So in that very last chain, I'm just going to do 1 double crochet. You can see my yarn switched about the middle of the row. It switched to the pink, and that's what I like about this yarn. You have like 4 different types of yarn in one skein. Okay, so now the next row is going to be our repeat row, and it's the row we're going to do for every row. So you just chain 2 and turn. Now you want to look for the 2 double crochets, and we're going to stitch right in between them. So we're just going to put 2 double crochets right in that space. And then here's our 2 double crochets again. So right in between, we're going to do 2 double crochets. Usually when you do a V-stitch, you do a double crochet, chain 1, and then a double crochet. But then it leaves like a big gap there, and I don't like that big gap. So we're leaving that out. So it'll look, your stitches will be a little more condensed. You won't have the big holes. So here's our next 2 double crochets. So right in between, we're going to do 2 double crochet. Okay, and there's our next 2. So right in between there, we're going to do 2 double crochet. Right, and that's what you're going to do all the way across the row. So I'll meet you back up at the end. So I'm at the end of the row again. Here is my last 2 double crochets. So I'm going to do right in between there, I'm going to do 2 double crochets. And then the top of my chain 3, I'm going to do 1 double crochet. And as you can see, my yarn has changed again. I've gone from the pink to this fluffier pink and white. So I'm going to chain 2 and turn. Okay, now this is where I was talking about. See how this yarn, it's really hard to see your stitches. So you don't have to worry about where your top of your stitches are. You just look for the 2 double crochets right here. And right in between there, we're going to do 2 double crochet. Okay, so then here's our next 2 double crochets. So right in between, we're going to do 2 double crochet. And we are just going to do that all the way down the row. Okay, once more, I'm at the end of the row. Here's my last 2 double crochets, so right in between there, I'm going to put 2 double crochets. And the top of the chain 2, I'm going to do a double crochet. And you can see my yarn has changed again. It's real fluffy. So chain 2. And again, this is yarn that it would be very hard to see your stitches. So that's why we work in between them. So here's your first 2 double crochets. So right in between, we're going to do 2 double crochet. And that is what you do for every row. You use up both skeins of yarn and you just keep going. It'll look like that. So again, this is the purple one that I did. And I just kept going till I used up all my yarn. This is how much yarn I had left. So I have some more videos coming up. I got my new Mary Maxim April crochet kit of the month, so I will show you that and review March's. I was able to go to Yarn Con in Chicago, so I will do a video on that, and then a video on some projects that I finished and some that I'm working on. So those will be coming up. So thank you so much for watching, and I will be back soon.